once again, and then we're coming off of a Thursday night game. But for our power rankings, I did mine before that game on purpose. So I didn't want it to skew anything. So obviously the only teams that would be affected by it are Baltimore and Cincinnati. Cincinnati had already dropped off for me because of their loss.
Yeah.
And Baltimore dropped just one spot. So I guess I'll go first on power rankings. Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Goldfine & Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlayBookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video. Or going into Week 11, honorable mention, I'll go bottom to top. Honorable mention, I got Dallas sitting right there again. It's where I had them last week. It's where I'm keeping them. They just disemboweled the Giants. I mean, as we all knew they would. It was Tommy DeVito. His under passing yards was the freest bet I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it was like 146.
Yeah, 146,
and
it was
70
80.
or something.
Back 400 yards, doesn't even play the fourth.
Yeah,
And
doesn't even bother, yeah.
Cooks, 175 yards. CD, 150 yards, both of the 10.
Yep.
I mean, when the Giants are down 30-plus, and it's the last drive, a minute left in the game, and they're calling timeouts on plays because it's the only drive with the Cowboys' third stringers in where they can look at tape and go, we could potentially build off this.
Good, right.
This is the one good thing. They're calling timeouts down 30 because they scored a touchdown on the drive.
They did, yeah.
But it's just,
It's like, here's something to build on
They
against the
needed it,
backups.
and it's like, that's how down bad this game was.
Yeah, I mean, that was a complete boat race.
Yeah.
Just as we all figured it would be. I mean, it was a huge spread for a reason, and they covered it with ease.
Yeah.
Number 5, keeping the Dolphins here off of a bye week. Great bye week for the Dolphins. You look at who lost. Bills, Jets, Patriots. The whole division lost. Great news. Then you look around at the other AFC contending teams. Jacksonville got absolutely slaughtered. Jacksonville falls out of my top 6 teams with that beating because they haven't looked good all year, really. You look at their schedule and who they've played and who they've beaten. It's not impressive. It's really not. They've played good teams and they've gotten spanked. They beat the Bills, who, are they a good team? I don't know.
Yeah.
Ask the counter. The counter says, no, not a good team.
Just not noticing that.
It's the Josh Allen's counter, turnover counter. We're up to 14 through 10 weeks.
That's wild.
Yeah, costing his team games.
Oh my
14
God.
turnovers. 11 picks.
30.
11 picks
He might
and 3
change,
fumbles
man.
lost.
That'd be wicked.
It's
I would
bad.
love that.
That would be wicked.
So
I wonder if you can bet on that.
that'd be awesome.
30-30.
30 season. He might, man. Miami 5, Detroit at 4. They come back up for me. I had Cincy in this spot. See ya. Don't think so. Not after what just happened to you against Houston and now Baltimore too. So Detroit stays at 4 with a great game against the Chargers. Won me some good money. Everything about that game just screamed offense, and it didn't disappoint. No. I was worried it would disappoint. Like, every time we've had these kind of matchups, it falls flat.
Yeah.
No, not
2017.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a slow-paced game now. This was all offense, all gas. Loved it. Good for Detroit, man. They're looking legit.
Yeah.
Number 3, Baltimore just falls one spot for their comeback loss to the Browns. They had them by the balls. What was it? Second play of the game, defensive touchdown for the Ravens, too. It's like, and then they punt, touchdown. It's like, this game's over. Just go ahead and turn this one off. 14-0 in the first 5 minutes of the football game. Turn it off. It's over. So they fall to 3 for me. Kansas City goes to 2, who also had a fantastic bye week.
Yeah.
Kicked up their feet, and every team they wanted to lose lost. Worked out great for them. And then Philadelphia stays at number 1. Just, what are they, 8-1 through 10 weeks. They're fantastic. They have a big one this week.
Yeah.
Going to be a great football game.
Cannot wait.
So I go Philly, Kansas City, Baltimore, Detroit, Miami, Dallas. Addison.
Right on, I'll go backwards. My honorable mention, I'm going to go San Fran. Dallas was definitely thinking about him, but San Fran just has the matchup, and they look like themselves against Jacksonville. Now I want to see it again. Maybe get back in that top 5. Number 5, Miami. This is a drop just because of the bye week. They go one spot down because the team above them at 4. Detroit, just a monster win, like you said, offense everywhere. Love to see that. Number 3, I had them here last week. Baltimore, no movement. I get the loss of the Browns is tough, but division game, those are funky. It's just, it was a weird thing. I don't care about it. Keep them at 3. The defense is absurd, and then obviously you add this Bengals win, but we're not. It's
not
just like,
counting
exactly.
it. Right,
still.
Right.
Number 2, Kansas City. Bye week, like you said, they're not going to move. And number 1, my Philly Eagles stay at the top. And I cannot wait for this number 1-2 matchup in these power rankings.
Monday night.
Everybody's power rankings, if they're legit in NFL, have Philly and Kansas City up there. So there's teams going at it. Cannot wait.
Yes, totally agree with you. Sage, let's hear him.
Yeah, I'm going to start with my honorable mention. I got Detroit right here.
Okay.
Detroit is just on a roll. I mean, obviously they had that one meltdown in Baltimore, but that happens to teams, and then some teams come back from it, some teams don't.
True.
So Detroit's right here. I mean, their secondary is a little, you can attack them there, but that's really their only weakness.
Yep.
They can attack you anywhere. Amon-Ra St. Brown looks like the sun god.
He's awesome, dude.
Love that man.
He's awesome.
Number 5, I got Dallas up here.
Yep.
Dallas, mostly because of Dak.
Yeah,
Dak has been on a
playing like an
roll.
MVP this year.
He
Playing
really
like an
is.
MVP this year.
And if he gets a few more games under his belt, comes back to Philly, beats Philly right there,
Woo.
he can make a case.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's going to be a monster game.
That's going to be
So
a great
that's
game.
going to be a huge game for legacy game for
Yeah,
Dak.
legit.
Definitely.
So
agree.
hope he can pull it off. I'm pulling for the Cowboys for that game right there.
Mhm.
But take care of what you got in front of you.
Yes.
Very excited for that. Number 4, I got the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know why we ever doubted them. It's not like they're on a 3-game
losing streak,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But they also went into Jacksonville and said,
And just embarrassed
you know what?
them.
You get a touchdown, you get a
Embarrassed
touchdown.
them.
Yeah.
Everyone but Christian
But
McCaffrey.
Christian
I
McCaffrey.
know.
The first week and is in 17
Since
weeks.
he's been on the 49ers.
Well, it's the first time I bet on him to get
Of
a
course
touchdown.
it
Yeah,
is.
of course.
Don't do it again, please.
I was
My
like,
fantasy team
really?
would really appreciate touchdowns from him.
That was so disappointing. I was like, oh, that's easy.
They were
money.
trying.
Yeah.
Up 37-3. He's getting the ball with no
Yeah.
time left. They're like, shit, he's got to score for that record.
Mhm.
And didn't,
I
of
had
course,
some
didn't get it.
anytime touchdowns. I had Gus Edwards on there. I had Rashad White on there, and I had
Oh.
Christian McCaffrey. And I was like,
McCaffrey's the one that doesn't
guy
Are
get
you
it.
that's
serious?
scoring.
The only
Cool.
one.
I mean, they were going for it up 34.
yeah, trying to get
fourth
it to
and
him.
goal.
Desperate to get him that
Fourth and
touchdown.
goal.
Hilarious.
I appreciated the effort.
Absolutely.
It didn't work out.
Good on them.
I
for
loved
that.
how afterwards he was like, I suck.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, you fucking do.
Damn it, McCaffrey.
Number 3, I got Baltimore. I am going to take last night into account as well.
Sure.
I mean,
Go
our
for it.
defense is just every piece that we've added in the offseason. Kyle Van Noy's been getting sacks. Javion Clowney looks like the Clowney that we've all been waiting for.
Yes, he was
And
drafted
then,
in, what,
on top of that,
2013?
Last night, Marlon Humphrey wasn't playing.
No.
Jamar Chase has not played against Marlon Humphrey this year, and in both games, Brandon Stevens has allowed 7 catches for 43 yards.
Jeez. That defense is doing something crazy right now.
I love it. I love it to death. Mike McDonald, please stay in Baltimore. Please don't leave us.
don't
Please
leave.
don't leave us. Number 2, I got Kansas City. Obviously, they just keep finding ways to win. Their young defense is just rolling
Top
people
5 in the
over.
league. Top
It
5 in the
absolutely
league.
is, and that's scary when you give Pat Mahomes the defense that Tom Brady got to play with for years on end.
Yeah.
That's nerve wracking.
Look out.
And one of these wide receivers that they're gonna draft is gonna hit eventually.
You would think.
You would think,
one of them is bound to
Yeah.
work out.
or they'll make a trade or something.
right,
Like
they'll get
they're,
someone great.
they're gonna make it happen, and that just makes me scared for future years because they don't have to pay these guys for a few years.
Yeah, several years. Yeah, they're in business.
And then number 1, I do have Philly. I mean, they do have one less loss, which is basically the deciding factor here. I can't wait for Monday night to really find out.
Right.
Because right now it's a coin flip. Who's
Yeah.
better, Kansas
Yeah.
City or Philly?
I understand it's a
We're gonna
2.5
find
point
out.
spread in Arrowhead. It's going to be a great game.
Oh, cannot wait.
That's
Gosh,
awesome.
I'm so excited for
It's
that
gonna be
game.
an awesome football game. Thank you for giving us this after just a real couple shitters of
Yep.
primetime games in the past.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Just keep everybody healthy. Like last night's
Yes.
game was so anticipated.
I know, and
it's
then
like,
Burrow goes
okay,
down.
Mark Andrews down.
Mark
okay,
Andrews
Joe
breaks his
Burrow
leg.
down, and it's
That's
like
Yeah.
really scary for the rest of the year for us.
Yeah, that's tough without
you
Mark
take away the
Andrews.
best receiving option, you take away the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's like,
And Lamar got hurt for a minute.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
He's I was like, please no, get
Oh.
up, get up, get up.
About how the same guy hurt Lamar, Odell, and Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews, Logan Wilson with that
Logan
damn
Wilson.
hip drop tackle.
Yeah.
It's risky, man.
Get him out of the league.
Yeah, come on. He's
I
gonna
think
have a
they're
nice.
working to make that illegal.
They are.
it's gonna
They
be-
are.
And
That tackle, it's dangerous.
hurting a
man.
superstar player is what's
Yeah.
push
That's
it over
gonna
the
push it
edge.
over the edge. Yeah, agreed. Colin, power rankings.
Makes sense. Honorable mention here, I went back and forth between our teams, Dallas and Miami. I just went with Dallas here because they played and Miami had a bye, so I got that recency bias in the back of my head. They beat the shit out of the Giants, and
Beat
much
the
like
shit.
Much like the Niners, here's a touchdown everywhere. Jake Ferguson, Dak Prescott, Brandon Cook,
Just
C.D. Lamb, Michael
dealing.
Gallup,
It
Rico
was Tony
Dowdle.
Pollard,
And it's like, man, I bet on one guy to score a touchdown, and it was Tony Pollard. And you get 6 touchdowns and 6 other players. Slap me in the dick back and forth.
Yeah, it did.
Dallas honorable mention. Number 5, San Francisco. You're back. Big win. We know you are when you have your weapons.
Yes.
When you have Trent Williams, you have Debo Samuel.
When
we
the
know who you
Avengers are assembled, they're
Yeah.
a scary team.
Yeah.
we know exactly what you are. When they're not, we also know what you are.
Yes.
Number 4, Baltimore moves down from 1 to 4. They lost at home. 14-point lead in the 4th. You lose at home to a division opponent.
4
That's a
different
tough loss.
14-point leads
Oh
in that game.
Tough loss. Number 3, I have Detroit. How do you have Detroit above Baltimore? Baltimore beat the shit out of Detroit. Well, I got to take that loss. for Baltimore last week into consideration. Detroit just went into LA, which I don't think is a tough play. I don't know if that's a good team either. But they took care of business, and David Montgomery, welcome back. Because holy shit.
Yeah, man.
Where was that all those years?
I know. Well, he was doing it. It's just
Behind the line.
he's getting it. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
plus
not
line of
getting hit
scrimmage
4
now,
yards
yeah.
behind
I mean, you
line.
see it. It's the second play of the game. The Chargers are 4 yards. The entire defensive line is 3 yards back. The line of scrimmage moves 3 yards with the
Reestablish
entire
the
line.
line,
And Montgomery's like, oh my god, what is this?
Look
I
at
haven't
this.
seen this ever. Yeah, and it's like, well, no shit, he's good.
I mean, he's probably running with a smile on his face.
Yeah, oh
You
yeah,
gotta
right,
think.
ear to ear.
He's
Ear to
running
ear.
behind
Yeah.
Penei Sewell, and he's like, this is fucking
He's there
awesome.
for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
4, I think, for the Bears. Yeah, because we used a second round pick and we just used all his
Yeah,
contract.
used up all his contract. Yeah, and he'll be in Detroit for a little while.
Number 2, ahead of Detroit here is the Chiefs.
Uh-huh.
Won the bye week, as we all talked about, and they look damn good. Now, Travis Kelce moving forward.
Taylor Swift has to be
what's
in
going
attendance.
on?
She
What's
has to
going
be in
on?
attendance for him, apparently. She has to be there.
Is she not on tour right now?
She
She
is in
just
South
performed
America.
South
America.
Yeah, he was there. She changed the lyrics
So
for him.
is
Crazy.
she still?
I don't know.
down
If
there?
I'm Travis Kelce, I'm calling her like, listen,
Conrad's the
babe.
guy for the Chiefs.
If I'm her, I'm calling her like, hey, you gotta come to this game.
We need you.
Yeah.
We need to fly
You're part
you
of the
right
team.
now. You're part of this team. We
Yeah.
fucking need
She's
you.
gonna be on the
The
roster.
difference
next
in
fucking
Travis
week.
Kelce receiving yards is like 60 yards a game different with her in attendance. I know it means nothing, America. I know. But it means something.
Yeah.
Apparently, it means something if she's there because he's so much better. When
Numbers
they're
don't
there.
lie.
Yeah.
Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't
They
lie.
don't.
Number 1, Philadelphia.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
makes
We'll
sense.
see Monday night.
Yeah,
We'll see.
We will see. That's gonna be.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
I'm gonna post the "Cry Eagles Cry" again. Can't wait for that game. That is gonna be an awesome, awesome game.
God,
Spell
the
out
refs
frauds.
are going to be just distraught.
Oh, they don't know.
Fuck Mahomes. Fuck the Eagles.
Oh, God. We're in Arrowhead.
2 flags.
Yeah.
offsetting.
We're just
Offsetting.
gonna do offsetting every time. Every penalty will be offset because they don't know what to do with themselves.
Mhm.